Ready?
Yep.
Hey, what's up you guys? It's Patty and it's
Ashley.
Oh, maybe we're like for the wrong video.
Wait, what?
Hold on.
I fixed my hair. Shit. Is it supposed to be a Q&A?
Wait, is this supposed to be a Q&A?
I think we're here for the wrong video.
I think we're here for the wrong video. Hold on.
Wait.
Wait, I think you need to help me snap. Ready?
Okay.
1, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
I think that's a lot better. I think we're here for the right video now.
Alright. Hey, what's up you guys? What's up my spooky pookies? It's Patty and it's
Ashley.
and we're here for a Q&A video.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so this is going to be really exciting because all my haunted stuff is back here, so it's really late. Ashley has to go to the airport soon, but we decided that we asked you guys for Q&A questions.
Literally in like 3 hours. I need to be at the airport.
Anyway, let's get into this because you guys had some juicy questions that you wanted us to answer. Question number 1. What made you decide to start paranormal investigations? Was it for fun or for profession?
Well, for me, it was mainly, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, but I started doing paranormal investigations specifically because I was in a really dark headspace when I was like a freshman in high school. And so I started watching like exploring videos and haunted videos and stuff like that, Sammy Colby, Exploring with Josh, all those type of people. And then eventually I started doing it, and I noticed that when I would go on these investigations and explore these places, it would take me away from my normal life, and I'd actually feel like myself. I wouldn't have time to think about what was going on in my life, so I just started to go more and more until I truly just fell so in love with it, which I've always been into like spooky things, but I love it so much.
Alright, and then of course for me, the reason I started to get into paranormal investigations was it really wasn't about profession at all at first. Obviously, like Ashley already said, we both wanted to be YouTubers. That's obviously like when you're a young kid, that's everyone's dream. However, I've always felt like I've known things and had abilities, but I've never qualified myself as a psychic. I've always loved oh my gosh, Sammy Colby, Exploring with Josh, Corey, all of them, like Most Archie, watching all of those really scary videos, Mr. Nightmare. Of course, everyone who knows me knows I had Ouija board stories and I've done it since I was a kid. Anyway, I've always done abandoned buildings, and like Ashley already said, is like our sorry guys. I tried to act like I didn't drop my phone. Anyway, like Ashley already said, it got us out of a negative headspace, and then it was already really hard to find people to go on investigations with, so it wasn't really it was kind of more fun because when we were kids and just teenagers in general, I felt like it was an adrenaline rush to be like, oh, do you want to go to this abandoned building?
Yeah.
And then we really started to be like, oh, is it haunted?
Yeah, like,
so
there's even times where I'll investigate, not even on camera. So to answer for paranormal specifically, I didn't start being like a paranormal investigator for a profession. I wanted to do YouTube for a profession, but not investigating as a profession.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
We would still investigate no matter what.
Regardless.
Of course, we want to be this to be a profession and a career.
Oh, of course.
But however, we started paranormal investigating a really long time ago. I just started to go to cemeteries and all this other stuff. But I hope that answered the question. Question number 2. What's the scariest paranormal thing you have witnessed?
I feel like Patty has a lot more better stories than me because I don't live in a haunted house, and I didn't grow up in a haunted house. To be honest, I think that the most creepiest paranormal story I have is probably our Monroe Demon House, the first one. Like, that was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life, to be honest. I've been in places where I felt creeped out, but not to the point where I literally did not want to investigate even an inch of the house.
What's one specific thing like
in the
you've
house?
witnessed? Like,
guys, we're not even fucking playing. We're not joking right now.
like specifically witnessed, I guess.
I don't know when this. Yeah. That was really fucking weird.
Hold on. Are you plugging your computer?
Yeah.
It's really random. I'm just gonna assume that it's hopefully dying.
And look at the back and see what it says. Guys, I'm sorry I'm yelling.
I'm plugging it in so we have no excuses.
That was weird, but I think honestly, I don't know if our newest thing will be up yet, but the creepiest thing, like where I felt genuinely freaked the fuck out,
or like
was
the
tapping.
Yeah.
Because like I've seen stuff, but nothing that like really scared me. The tapping in the demon house the second time with me and Patty alone, it felt like something was like almost like teasing us, like tapping on the walls, taunting us instead of us taunting it. And it was almost like I'm coming for you type of thing. Because it would get closer, and then it would go farther and closer. And it was really the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. To be
One
honest.
of the scariest things that I've probably ever witnessed, obviously, other than living in my haunted house. You guys have heard those stories like a lot of times, I would say. Probably one of the scariest things that I've witnessed, like fully paranormal, not even just like me being a psychic, a lot, but like she said, Monroe Demon House, when we were hearing that tapping, and then we were doing the infinity deck, and then it said it didn't want to talk to me, and like it kept saying it didn't want to talk to me, and then we heard something walking down the hallway. Like, it's so weird. And not even just that, like I walked in and I swear to God I heard something walking, and I seen something walk into the kitchen. Like,
we literally walked, like we're wondering if somebody's in the house. Like, we were also like, this is our first, like, you guys will see we've done another investigation, just me and her, somewhat, if you want to call it that, but this is our first real, just me and Patty investigation. We've witnessed and experienced so much when we're by ourselves. If you see Beale Manor, you'll see just what I saw. I'm not going to say, because I want you to see our videos, but I witnessed something, and I normally don't see anything in places, and so we already knew we were going to get stuff, but this was like next level stuff, in a good way though, because that's what we want, but it was evil, if that makes sense. It wasn't just like some nice little thing.
What I will say though is, now bringing that up, probably one of the best pieces of equipment, or best piece of evidence and things that I've ever actually physically witnessed, is that you'll see in my Halloween video, when I was at the Warren's Occult Museum, you know how like you'll knock on things and be like, repeat my knock. I had what I was communicating with at the Warren's Occult Museum copy my knock from the spirit box, and you will see it. But let's get into question number 3.
How did you first start investigating? I want to start so bad. That's a good one, actually. How did you start?
How I started was, I feel like I just took inspiration from every well-known investigator that I trusted and felt like didn't fake evidence. That's the most probably important thing. And I also took a lot of time researching from YouTube and a lot of other things that aren't from Hollywood. I would say I would like look up how specific pieces of equipment work, what EMF meant. You have to really get into like the logics and the scientific part, and like the deep dive like information about how the pieces of equipment and what ghost hunting is, and learn how each thing works and operates, and what is good and what is bad, and really about protection.
Yeah, I think also because for me, I started ghost hunting, I think like Patty said, from watching YouTube videos and learning equipment, because you also have to remember to protect yourself too. You can't just go walking in a place and then God forbid open something you don't realize what's going on. So definitely protection, learn how the equipment works, because you could be thinking something's happening when it's really not happening.
Always debunk.
I was just about to say that. Try to debunk it before you come to the conclusion that it's paranormal. Because I mean, the whole point of doing it is to get actual evidence, you know. And what's what's cool about something that's not really evidence?
Is one safety rule you have for investigating?
One thing I always do personally, I'm Catholic. Obviously, like, we don't push religion on anybody. If you don't do that, you don't do that. That's completely fine. Me personally, though, I always say the Hail Mary, the Our Father, and then if I'm really creeped out, I'll do Glory Be, and I hold rosary beads. I have my rosary beads from my grandma. that, which before these rosary beads I just used in general, even for like when I'd be stressed like presentations or stuff like that, but now I use it with every single investigation. You probably see it in the post I have around my neck. I will normally hold it in my hands, and me and Patty will pray, and we envision a white light around us, almost like a bubble of protection.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you do not believe in religion, and if you do not know what type of religion or anything like that, and that is just not your type of world, which is absolutely okay, I promise you that is not something that we, again, push on people. Always envision yourself in a white light. At the end of the day, if you do not believe in a higher power or any religion, just know that you are more strong than anything that we cannot see, hear, or anything like that, and you are also more physically strong than anyone around you, because you are yourself. And just, it's a mindset and it's a mentality thing. Envision yourself in a white light. Like what I like to say is, imagine you had a picture cut out of yourself and you put it down and you painted a white light around you. Imagine you're doing that, and imagine you're strong. And as well as just always just say that you can do it. Tell yourself that you can do it, because at the end of the day, you can.
It's definitely mind over matter too. Like one thing that definitely helped me personally go through certain obstacles, like being like doing solo in the Warrens Museum, or even what we did yesterday, was that we're here for evidence. When evidence happens, I can't freak out, because I'm like, well, that's cool, that's what I'm asking for. Why am I gonna get scared of something that I'm asking for, kind of type of thing. But circling back to the question, I feel like I'm going off track. I just make sure that I'm protected. Also, setting boundaries, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, set boundaries.
If you don't want, when you go in, I think every single person should say it. Don't just have one person say it for the whole group. Be like, I don't want to be touched. I don't want you to attach. No, you can't attach to me. You can't come home with me. You can't harm me.
It's about how you say it as well. You have to be respectful with the way you say it, but also at the same time, if things are getting eviler, make sure to just be firm, not be mean, because they will actually taunt you. Just make sure to be firm and actually communicate.
Yeah. I was gonna say too, also, like, go based off of how you feel. I feel like it's hard because obviously we're all human, and sometimes when you're in these high stress situations, you can't help but be aggressive. Like, there's a lot of times I'm aggressive by accident, and I don't mean to be like that.
I will say you do have to absolutely change your mindset with that, though, because aggression isn't going to, even in this real world, get you anywhere. Just make sure to be clear and be firm, because at the end of the day, if you do start to see yourself going down that path of being aggressive or any type of emotion that is not who you are, that's where you're going to lose sight in things. So just make sure to go in with a clear headspace, because you want to go in with a clear headspace for any situation, and just be clear, and just make sure you're setting those boundaries, and you're believing in yourself and knowing you can do it.
And being mentally stable, I think that's a huge one too.
Yes, and even if you aren't mentally stable, get there.
Or try your best to, because if it's something really dark, it's going to use what is bothering you against you and then make you feel worse.
And even if it isn't dark and it is just like a amount of energy, if you're not in a good headspace, it is still energy, and these things tend to drain you. So if you're not in a good headspace already, just like a battery on your phone, it's going to keep draining you. So make sure that if you do stuff like this, that you are well protected. You go into this with confidence, and you know what you're doing, and you've researched, because don't just go into this thing in this form without any type of knowledge.
Yeah, it definitely takes practice too, I think. You learn as you go, but just try your best.
What are some challenges you both have faced being women in the paranormal field?
Definitely, first of all, not being taken seriously. I feel like men are very prominent in the paranormal industry, so like whenever it's a man, like even on it's like whenever it's a man, even on as simple as a thumbnail, people tend to click it more than when they see a woman on a thumbnail for a paranormal investigation.
I will also say, obviously, there is a lot of people that absolutely despise and hate on me specifically, but both of us. And going back to what she said with like being like taken seriously, I feel like a lot of people do not take us seriously at all. Another probably piece of challenge that I've had to overcome is really just like not even just setting the boundaries, because I feel like we can do that well. It's just really about like breaking up certain things, and of course with me being a psychic, just balancing things and knowing when to stop and when to not push things, or when to push things and get over those fears. And just basically another thing too, I would say, is overall pretty much everything, deciding who you can trust in the paranormal, and just overall just learning.
definitely the trust wise, like there are a lot of creeps, to say it, put it the least, that will try to like talk to us and like be like, oh, like come with me on an investigation, but really they have bad intentions, and you could tell, but it's just like it is hard to get away from that, especially as a woman.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that every man that we collab with
definitely
is
not. No,
we love people.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like in general, there tends to be.
Yes. Another thing too, though, is this is like the most random thing, and it is a challenge, and you would absolutely be just like surprised. But since we aren't the stereotypical emo ghost hunters who don't have the stereotypical black hair and just are like extremely pale and wear all black, I feel like we aren't looked at as much. But at the like same time,
always say to me, like, you investigate, I would never think you'd do that.
But at the same time, we can't even like think and like look at those types of people, because at the end of the day, like, that is like a fan base like stereotype thing. But we have had the opportunity to communicate with some of our biggest inspirations, so it ain't matter.
Nope.
Anyway, if you're watching this video already and you are this far, make sure to get that Patty Paranormal merch. Link is in the description
right now.
But in the bio.
What are the biggest pros versus cons of investigating the paranormal? I think a pro is definitely meeting amazing people. I've met the best people through the paranormal industry. You meet some not good people, but for the most part, I feel like I've known these people forever. Also, of course, getting the evidence. I think it's so interesting to learn these spirit stories, and even to think of like another realm like that. Like, obviously, as I said, I'm Catholic, so I have my faith, but there's that extra layer of, wow, like this is truly like happening. A con is definitely like, I think when you talk something like super dark, that it could genuinely harm you. Like, you feel like so uncomfortable. Like, there's certain investigations where it's not fun and it's borderline like, I need to get the F out of here, plain English, before I get hurt.
Alright, so I would say two pros, like already Ashley said, is the meeting people in the community. I will say it just brings out my inner self and my creativity, and it brings out my personality and who I am, and I don't feel judged like I do in normal stereotypical society. Another thing too is the trips is absolutely a blast.
They're so fun.
Like these conventions that we have that join the paranormal, like you don't get like weird, like there's absolutely hate, but that's bound to be anywhere, but you don't get looked at or judged or anything like that. It's just genuinely so fun. I also just love learning about the history, locations, the trips itself. We basically, it's like a girls trip but in a different format, without like
best way possible.
In the best way possible. A con, it's a lot of mental and physical stress, because especially if you want to be a content creator, just being a content creator in general. But for some reason, I do feel like, I'm not trying to like demise on anyone being a content creator, because this industry is absolutely hard, but like with paranormal investigations, you have to edit a mini movie, like a mini horror movie, to make you guys click the videos, to make them interesting. And they're mini horror movies, and you have to get the trailer, the thumbnails, the clickable, the clips, the freaking edits, the
everything,
listen,
angles, B-roll,
captions, B-roll, edits, all of that stuff. Being a content creator in general was insane, but like, we make literal movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually take back the old, I mean, the old con I said is true, but the biggest con for me is definitely because I'm such a perfectionist with my editing, and I love to edit, but when you're editing a video that's over an hour, it's impossible to pump out the videos without taking the quality back too. So I'm still even struggling with that, the quality versus quantity type of thing.
How is your research progressing?
I feel like, especially since I met Patty, that every investigation we go on, we get something crazier and crazier and crazier. Like, we get constant, I mean, especially the Panasonic. Guys, the Panasonic doesn't always work, the DR60. If you don't know what that is, it's a really old voice recorder. It's vintage. You can't really find it anywhere. It's expensive, but it was for doctors, and they'd use it back in the day, and when there's silence, it cuts it out. But we are able to use it as equipment because for some reason, the frequencies that it catches is able to catch the voices of the other realm type of thing. We get straight answers.
I feel like our research progresses even more because we more and more meet the people that we do, and we learn more stuff. And with the paranormal, it's not like a scientific thing that like is 100% proved. So I feel like as time goes on, in general, our research is progressing, as well as even when I met Ashley, I feel like the more things that we do and the more places we go, you're automatically bound to learn some new things. I also still watch other people's YouTube videos. I also learn and adapt on different things like that, and
Even
learn different methods. You know, I found out like what we really should do is like blue light brings out spirits, like it calls it and brings it in more. So if we ever tried to like blue and red, if we try to put our like lights to like blue or red, it pulls it. So yeah, we basically just kind of teach ourselves in a way. If you're not willing to teach yourself anything, you do not belong in this community in the nicest way possible. You have to accept when you are wrong. You have to accept when you fail. You have to accept when you need to stop. You need to accept where you need to learn more, and you need to also accept where this is not an easy and light field. You have to be aware. You have to know when to learn, and all of the above.
Yeah,
okay?
that's why it's important.
And you have to be prepared.
It's important to have people around you because they will tell you, like, you're being, like, there's times, I think, in Beale is a good example. I was being aggressive just because I saw something, and I normally don't see things, like I said, and it made me freaked out, so I was aggressive, and then Patty's like, you need to take the tone down, like, you're being too much right now, and I was like, you're right, I am being too much. So just, like, having those people to check you, too, like, I don't know, it's just very important.
Anywhere outside the U.S. where you would both go to do an investigation. We have the same answer. 3, 2, 1. Dracula's Castle, Romania, Transylvania. Yeah, I really want to go.
I love vampires.
I love vampires too, and even if it's not like as extra as it says, I think that the area around is beautiful, and the castle around it's beautiful in general.
Yeah, even if Vlad the Impaler didn't actually live in Dracula's castle, that one specifically, I still want to go, and I do want to actually visit where Vlad the Impaler really did.
And they have a lot of the torture devices and all the other like things. Like it's kind of like a.
I like how we're talking about like, oh yeah, they have like the torture devices and like the stuff. Like he really stayed. Whoa. But like genuinely,
like we're praying that Damien Salvatore doesn't just pop
Damien?
up.
Who's Damien? It's Damon.
It's fucking
Damien Salvatore.
Damien Salvatore comes out
Oh,
to the castle. Stephanie comes out as well. And so does
We're gonna have our Vampire Diaries moment.
And Edward. Anyway, long story short, we like vampires. Also, another thing is, personally, I know I'm really weird, but I have always been like really fascinated by history, and I am so fascinated by like World War II, and I like it was such like a depressing and just heartful, like horrendous thing that happened in the world. And I really just want to see Auschwitz, and just honestly, since we can communicate to these things, I really want to hear their stories. Even if I don't like call out to them, I really just want to see it. Like I don't need to get in contact with them. I don't want to ruin or burn in any of their piece. I don't want to glamify any of that situation, but I really want to physically see that.
That'd be interesting.
And go to Europe in general.
It's very sad and traumatic situation.
And I just want to feel like.
I think that'd be very interesting to see. But I do think it's important to talk about stuff like that, you know, so it never happens again.
What's a location that you'd never go back to? And what's a location that you'll never stop going back to?
That's really hard, actually, because I feel like when a location makes me scared where I have to get out, it makes me more intrigued to go back.
I think a location that I could never stop going to, if it was a possibility, would be the Warren's Occult Museum.
I was gonna say that too.
But if not, honestly, I think Laurel's House of Horror. I think that's a location that I will never stop going to. I mean, it's not like really like a physical paranormal location. It's just starting to get like that. So you guys go check out Laurel's House of Horror. It's an underground location.
For me, I'd probably say Fairfield Hills other than the Warrens. I love Fairfield Hills. I've been there like at least 100 times at this point. So
a location that I wouldn't go back to. In this very moment, I would stay away from the Monroe Demon House for a little bit.
Well, we did go twice though, so we technically did go back to it.
I mean, as of right now, but a location that I probably like I've been to and wouldn't necessarily like care to go back. Obviously we know that there's like days where things are like you know, everything's not going to always be active. Oh, we've been to lots of places.
I know, I'm trying to think.
Places I really wouldn't necessarily care about going back to is some locations in Gettysburg. I know that's really strange and really weird for me to communicate and say that, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not like it's overhyped, but I would look at it in a video aspect for YouTube, that A, that video didn't do so well, and B, I love Gettysburg, but I am more of like an asylum person and stuff like that. I love the history of Gettysburg, but sometimes I think that it's overpopulated and overcrowded, so it's not really okay, like, it's not really great to grasp and pick up on so much evidence.
Actually, now I think about it, like, not scare-wise, one place I wouldn't go back to is the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem. I didn't even post a video because nothing happened for me. I mean, I know maybe other people have experiences there and they get a lot, but personally, I did not feel anything. I got absolutely no evidence at all, personally.
Yeah, and again, no hate to these locations. It's just our personal stuff.
Yeah, we're just saying like from us personally, but you might have an experience there that it was absolutely amazing, and that is so great. I'll go back to Salem, but Hawthorne Hotel I don't really care to.
Alright, and then last and final question. What's something you would like to know more about when it comes to the paranormal?
I'd like to learn more about tarot. I know Patty's really into that and she knows a lot of it, but I don't really know much about it. I know I go to Salem a lot if you know my channel, but like I'm not really on that like witchy side so much. I like crystals and stuff, but I'd like to learn more about tarot. I think that's very interesting.
What I would like to know more...
Is tarot paranormal?
I mean, technically, kinda. I mean, you can answer like 2 just in case. Like, if you want to think about it.
Yeah, you can answer.
So, what I want to learn more about, like, paranormal-wise is... I really want to start, like, asking and learning about how these spirits and entities really feel about us communicating with our equipment. And I honestly would like to see and know more about, like, the balance between like residual and all this other stuff, and about like how they can feel, because I know I'm a psychic and I can see and feel things, but like it's not really ever going to be like necessarily confirmed. I'm really excited for what we learn farther down into the time realm of like what we come up with and find out. But what's so interesting about the paranormal is we'll never know 100% everything.
That's true.
But I really think that I just want to continue to learn more about how they feel about, and also the timing of things. When we ask a question, do they know it beforehand? Do they answer, like, what's the time zone level realm and how they feel about how we communicate to them?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think, yeah, I'll keep my other answer. Guys, I don't know if, see, I don't really know much about tarot. I don't know if you consider that paranormal, but I hope so.
Interesting concept. If you guys are watching this video, quote of the day, advice: do not touch anyone else's tarot card deck. Okay? Don't get near it, don't touch it, nothing. Really bad. Really bad.
I didn't know that.
Voodoo and juju, and don't do it. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like in our 2 pretty beautiful faces, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to also hit that subscribe button on her channel. It's going to be down below. It's going to be tagged. And also
the Patty merch.
We're freaking hilarious. Also, get your Patty merch. Baby Property with that shit in the description.
Well, yeah. But I tried to cut you off when I said that. I mean that, but in the description right now. Right now. It's
right now.
The coolest merch ever. I'm gonna be wearing my hoodie soon. So if you want to twin with me and Patty, you better do it. I was about to say that we normally have a lot more energy and are more silly goosey. We literally were just like trying all like doing dumb stuff before. My energy is right down there. Yeah, we have a lot of crazy things coming up in the future. I don't know when you guys are going to see this. This might be just one of those videos that I just pop up in another week, so you get 2 videos. I'm trying to do a weekly video, so every Tuesday I give you guys spooky ghost investigations, and you know how hard that is. Yeah. So please make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on a crazy journey. Put the post notifications on so you don't miss it. Post notifications on. We have a crazy thing coming out soon. Make sure to keep those post notifications on to see it, because you do not want to miss it. Anyway, comment down below what you guys want to see us do next and where you want us to go, and maybe there's a possibility you can come with us. Make sure to go cop that merch before, and you'll see in the future. Peace. And for more videos.